Over 70% of the planet's surface is covered by water. The Portuguese Sea represents half of all the sea in Europe. 90% of Portugal is sea. It's part of its history, its discovery of new routes, of new worlds, of new emotions, of experience lived in salt and sand, of boats that bring the best the sea has to offer, living life with each wave. DGRM, Directorate General for Natural Resources, Safety and Maritime Services, plays a central role towards this harmony, now and always. Promoters of healthy oceans, blue development, and the well-being of the Portuguese people, they seek to assert Portugal as a leader in ocean governance, one of the great pillars of sustainability on the planet. With more than 100,000 vessels registered under the Portuguese flag and more than 12,000 foreign ships calling at Portuguese ports every year, DGRM is responsible for monitoring the marine environment and for the certification of maritime safety and security, maritime traffic control inspectors and the Maritime Control Centre (CMAR), and ensuring the training and certification of more than 50,000 Portuguese seafarers and navigators on board ships. DGRM also supervises shipbuilding, maintenance and repair. With a blue future in mind, it invests in innovative and sustainable projects and in the surveillance and protection of the oceans. Through port state control, foreign ships calling at national ports are also inspected. These surveys guarantee the regulation and safety of all people and goods. With the BMAR and National Maritime Single Window and other internal systems, all these procedures are digitized. And with top-quality maritime spatial planning, we help develop professional, recreational and conservation activities in the Portuguese Sea, as well as developing work and contracts for the proper functioning of port infrastructures. Alongside the decarbonisation of shipping, the digitisation and automation of ports ensure a step forward towards a more blue future. A future in which DGRM helps forge the sustainability between the great economic activity of the sea, the preservation of vulnerable marine ecosystems, and the ecological management of natural resources. An activity which already represents more than 5% of GDP, and with a tendency to increase. An activity that brings the best fish and seafood to our tables, in compliance with pertinent sustainability rules, which makes Portugal one of the countries with the highest consumption of fish. An activity that prioritizes new technologies of aquaculture and oceanic renewable energies. An activity that places Portugal as a hub in the transport of goods by sea, and as a hub in the transmission and processing of data. DGRM monitors the international governance of maritime transport, fisheries, marine planning and environmental issues at the IMO, the European Commission and other forums, discussing tomorrow's governance policies today. Regulate, license, certify, monitor and control with intelligence. These are the pillars of the relationship that DGRM develops with the ocean. Nautical recreation, sports, cultural events and tourism represent a significant part of the overall value of the Portuguese Sea. Activities that help make Portugal an attractive and healthy country with its 2,500 kilometers of coastline. Portugal is sea. It's surfing in Nazaré, backpacking down the Vicentina coast, sunbathing on the long sands of the Algarve, and watching dolphins on the Sado River. DGRM is the development of security and all services in the sea, always grounded on the principles of responsibility, transparency, equity and quality. Because our sea is part of the past, present and future of Portugal's economy and identity. DGRM, a digital ecosystem at the service of the Portuguese Sea.